What's up, everyone? Jeff from Retro Arcade Gaming on YouTube. Today, we're doing something a little different, and we're going to dive into bezels, overlays, and shaders in RetroArch. If you're not familiar with RetroArch, it's a front end for running various arcade games, video game consoles, and computer systems, all through what are called cores. Think of each core as the emulator itself, RetroArch as the sleek interface that keeps everything in one place. One of the things I've always loved about RetroArch is its ability to add overlays, which can appear as bezels or simply frame the video content. Also, the ability to add shaders, which gives the screen that old-time CRT or TV effect. If you've watched any of my previous videos, the border around gameplay, the one that shows what system I'm playing, that's the overlay. In the past, I've used overlays from two main sources: the Unified Bezel Collection by CI2Own and a MAME bezel collection by Orion's Angel. They look fantastic, but they can be a little tricky to set up, especially with handheld systems. You have to adjust the image so it fits the overlay perfectly. Can take some time and some patience to get just right. All of that changed a few weeks ago when I discovered the Mega Bezel collection for RetroArch. Now, this isn't new. This has been around for a while. I haven't really followed the scene for the last couple of years, so I was unaware of it. I just found it a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest with you, for me, it's been a game changer. It's simple to use, easy to customize, and once it's set up, switching between shaders and overlays for any system is a breeze. Let's walk through the setup process. The first thing we want to do is install the Mega Bezel Shader. Let's get something out of the way first. If you're running RetroArch version 1.9.8 or later, this shader is already included. You can check to see if it's included by going to your RetroArch folder, going to the shaders directory, going to the shader slang directory, going to the bezel directory, and looking for this mega_bezel folder. If it's not there and you're running version 1.9.8 or later, you can get it to show up by starting RetroArch. From the main menu, go down to Online Updater, scroll down, and select Update Slang Shaders. We, for this process, are actually going to install it manually. So we're going to go back to this directory. We're just going to delete this completely. And then we are going to go to the Mega Bezel Shader GitHub page, which, let me get this set up. Let me go back here. Okay. We can find right here. The website is github.com/hyperspacemadness/mega_bezel. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Once here, you want to go to the right-hand column here, look for this releases section, click on the Mega Bezel latest release, and download it. Once it's downloaded, you want to extract it. It will show up in a folder like this. You want to drive down. Inside of this, you want to copy this Mega Bezel folder. You want to go back to your RetroArch directory, shaders, slang, bezel, and paste it here. Once that's done, we need to do some configuration in RetroArch itself. So we'll load it back up. From the settings menu, we want to go to video. We want to go to output. And we want to look at this top setting. This is actually the video driver. For this to work, you need to be set at either Vulkan or GL Core. I'm told Vulkan works better. I don't know that for a fact, and I don't know enough about them to say what the difference is. I have been using GL Core. It works fine for me. The other thing we want to do on this same output screen is go down to video rotation. Make sure that is set to normal. We want to go back a menu, go back another menu. We want to go to settings. We want to go to user interface. We want to scroll down to show advanced settings, and we want to make sure that is turned on. One thing I also like to do from this menu is the on-screen notifications. They're on by default. I like to turn them off. Not required, personal preference. It keeps my screen nice and clean. I don't get all the pop-up messages of when things are downloading or what game's loading or things like that. The only time I will turn this on is when I'm doing a download and I want to watch the progress down here in the bottom left-hand corner. So once we've made those changes, and again, this one is personal preference, on or off. That's up to you. We want to go back to the settings menu, back to the video menu, and we want to go to scaling. The two things we want to change here. The aspect ratio is normally going to be set to core provided. This seems backwards to most of you, but we actually want to switch that to full. We also want to make sure that the integer scale is set to off. We're going to back out of here, back out again. We're going to go down to core settings. We're going to go down to allow rotation, and we're going to make sure that is set to off. This is especially important for the FB Neo Core and the current MAME core. Once that's done, we can exit. Oh, one thing to note, and I don't know if I mentioned this or not, if you change your video driver here, you will need to restart in order to get that to take effect. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. Go to our main menu, exit, and now let's get to the meat of this. We want to install the Duimon, I think that's how you say it. It's spelled D-U-I-M-O-N, Mega Bezel Package. You can download it from his GitHub page, which is github.com/Duimon-Mega-Bezel. Again, you're going to want to go to the right-hand side here under releases, and you're going to want to download the latest release. which we have right here. Again, you're going to extract that. You're going to dive into it. And you are going to copy this folder, the Duimon Mega Bezel Mega-Bezel folder. From there, we are going to navigate back to RetroArch directory. We're going to go to shaders. We're going to create, let's pretend this isn't here, because it wouldn't be. This is going to take a while to download, so bear with me and I will delete this out of here. Okay, so you're going to create a new folder and you are going to name it Mega _Bezel _packs. And inside this directory, you are going to paste that Duimon folder. I can't remember if it's underscore or dash. It's going to be Duimon Mega Bezel folder that we just copied. There we go. That folder is done copying. Once it's done, we are ready to get to business here. So I am going to start up Launchbox, which is my preferred front end. You don't have to use Launchbox. You can use anything you want. Once you get a game loaded in RetroArch, the process is going to be exactly the same. I just use Launchbox as my front end. So let's load a game. I've been having some problems. This is a demo system, basically. It's an older computer that I'm using just for this video because it's clean. It doesn't have a ton of things that I would have had to change. It's a fresh install, basically. I've had some problem with it loading games, so hopefully that doesn't happen here, but we'll see. We're going to pick a game, pick Asteroids, and see if for some reason it didn't load. Now we'll pick another game. Let's do Alpha Beam with Ernie. Good Sesame Street game, right? I'm assuming that's what that is. So there we go. We've got our game loaded. From here, we want to press the F1 key to open up the RetroArch quick menu. We want to scroll down to shaders. We want to turn video shaders on. And we want to go down to load preset. You will now see that Mega Bezel Packs folder we just added. You will see the Duimon Mega Bezel directory that we just added. You will see a preset directory, which is what we want to pick. And now we have three choices. We have advanced, light, and standard. My understanding, the difference between the three of these is the number of visual effects and how demanding they are on your GPU. Older graphic cards, like I'm using here in this machine, which is a built-in Intel GPU, probably 10 years old, you're going to want to use the light or the standard. I found that out the hard way. I tried to do the advanced. I had this video to this point. I picked advanced and it crashed the whole system. So we are going to pick standard. Then you're going to scroll down and find your system. In this case, we are doing the 2600. Now you're going to have a whole bunch of shader options. Excuse me a minute. I don't know the difference between all of these. This is a night version of this one. This is a night version of this one. These I'm assuming are different monitors, different looking monitors. In most cases, I just have been using this one, which is the standard guest bezel. On my main machine, my production machine, I have an RTX 3080 graphic card, and I have been using the advanced as opposed to the standard, but the advanced looks just like this. Same options, same choices. It just says ADV instead of STD. So we're going to pick this one, and it will take a few minutes to load. So bear with me. Okay, now that it's loaded, I don't know if these steps are necessary or not. I always do them anyway. I'm going to scroll down here to save preset. And I am going to save core preset. That way, any game that uses this core, I'm using the Stella core for my Atari 2600 games, will get this shader applied automatically. This takes a couple minutes to save as well. There we go, it's done. So we're going to back out of here. Back out again. And then I always go to this overrides menu and I do a save core overrides. Once that's done, we go back. We resume our game. And there you have it. We have our nice shader and our nice bezel and overlay applied. Let's go back out. Let's go to Sega Genesis. Let's pick a game. I picked the Addams Family and then realized I would probably get copyright for the music. So let's go here. Let's start up Afterburner. And let's do the same process. Let's hit F1. Let's go down to our shaders. Let's do load preset, Mega Bezel packs, Duimon Mega Bezel, presets. Let's choose light this time. Scroll all the way down to our Sega Genesis. And you'll see we have lots of options here. If you notice, the Mega Drive wasn't an option there. The Mega Drive is going to be this right here. And we'll show that here in a minute. But let's do the... Did I do standard or light? Yeah, I did a light. Okay. Sorry. It says standard. Genesis. Let's just pick that bezel right there. Do our save preset. Save core preset. Back out. Back out. Overrides. Save core overrides. Load our game. We've got our nice Sega Genesis bezel and overlay. We go back in here. Bear with me. I'm going to fast forward through some of this so it's not so painful to sit through. Let's do our load preset. go to our bezel packs, Duimon, presets, light. Let's go to our Sega Genesis. Let's go to the alternate. Give it a minute to load. And you can already see it. Do our save preset. No, we're not even going to save it. Save time. We're not going to save it. Let's just go up here. Let's do our resume. And you can see now that we have the Mega Drive instead of the Genesis logo there. One thing I want you to see. You go down to shaders. Do a load preset, Mega Bezel Packs, Duimon, presets. Let's do our light again. You'll notice, and I noticed this, there are very few, this is a Commodore 64C. There are very few, there should be like a VIC-20, all sorts of fun stuff in here. They are not here. The Commodore is one of my favorite systems, and I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't included. So, we have a solution for that. Let me get out of here. Let's resume. Let's exit. Let's minimize our RetroArch. There is, I don't know how you say it, TheNamec has a Mega Bezel Commodore pack. It's at github.com/TheNamec/Mega Bezel Commodore Pack. You want to click on the releases tag. You want to download the latest release, which is from October of 2022. But release candidate 4.1, you click on that, download it. Right there. You get it here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to extract it. You'll get a folder like this. You are going to copy this into that same RetroArch Shaders Mega Bezel Packs. You're going to paste that right here. So there we go. Once that's installed, the process is exactly the same. Bring up RetroArch here. We're going to our Commodore 64 directory here. Let's just load up Decathlon. Maybe. Once it loads, we're going to hit F1. We're going to go down to Shaders. turn on video shaders, load preset, Mega Bezel packs. Now we're going to go down to our Commodore pack. Presets. And now you can see all of our options for Commodore 64. You've got different bezels. You've got different monitors. I don't know what any of this stuff does. Soft. NTSC. I'm assuming potato is the light version. I don't know. Curve day flat. Let's do that. Like I said, if you don't like the looks of it, you can always change to something else. Go down to save. Save core preset. Wait for that to finish. Back out. Overrides, save core overrides, go back. Zoom. And there's our cool Commodore 64 overlay. And we are taxing this little piece of crap machine to the max. But anyway, there you go. Finally, one more thing. I mentioned earlier that I used Orion Angel's arcade bezels. MagicHat has converted those bezels into a Mega Bezel package. You can download them from the LibRetro forums. I'm not going to spell it out for you because it's too long. I'll put a link for it in the description. You want to scroll down here. As you can see, there's about 244 games. It's not every game. You want to download the Fresh Start Full Collection zip, and you want to download the Pack 6 also, which is not included in this full collection. It was added after the fact. Once you have those downloaded, you want to unzip them. You want to copy. To your shaders, Mega Bezel packs. Paste. For the, did I download the other package? I did not. Okay, we'll just keep going. Go to your arcade game. Let's see. Let's go to settings, video. There we go. Go down to shaders. Shaders on. Load preset. Mega Bezel. Multi-game. That way you don't have to set it up specifically for each core or for each game. It does it automatically based on the ROM name. Now see, we shouldn't have changed that. Okay, let's go back. Video. Output. I think we're going to change that back to normal. There we go. Settings. Quick menu. Shader. Save preset. Save core preset. Save core overrides. Resume. And there you go. You've got a beautiful Pac-Man bezel. We exit out of here. You load up Donkey Kong. Hopefully it doesn't kill my graphic card. You should hear the little fan on this it's a little Intel Nook. It's what I'm using. It is screaming at me right now. There you go. Got a nice Donkey Kong bezel. Pretty slick, isn't it? They keep adding to this. Like I said, there's only like 244 games right now. I think they just released Pack 7 not too long ago. So it should be coming out here pre-configured for this very soon. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. This only works with games launched through RetroArch. So some systems like the Apple II or the TRS-80 color computer, you're going to have to launch through MAME in RetroArch to be able to use these. And I have not got that working yet. If you figured that out, definitely drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear your solution. Also, if you use the same core for multiple systems, RetroArch will load whichever bezel you use last. For example, in my setup, the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color use the same core. If I set up the Game Boy overlay and shader and set it to save per core, it is what will appear when I load the Game Boy Color games. To get around that, you can save presets per game. You can manually switch the shaders each time you load a system, or you can do what I do. You can set up multiple RetroArch installs. I have 3 installs of RetroArch named RetroArch A, RetroArch B, and RetroArch C. They are all essentially duplicates of one another, but unique RetroArch installs. I load the Game Boy in RetroArch A and the Game Boy Color in RetroArch B. They still use the same core, but the unique overlay and bezel sticks because they are on different instances of RetroArch. That's it. You're now ready to add beautiful overlays, bezels, and shaders to your RetroArch setup. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow retro gamers. Thanks for watching. Happy gaming. Peace.